guys, thanks for checking out these licks. What I did here was a series of 4, and what they're covering is basically some different concepts, like extended pentatonics, use of triads, way to connect different arpeggios, some use of chromaticism. So let's get right to it. And the first lick is comes right out of the E minor pentatonic scale. It's basically built right out of that root position. First of all, my disclaimer. I'll tell you right now, my guitar is tuned basically in straight fourths. So basically everything is the same from E, E string, A, D, G. My second string and first strings are tuned C and F respectively. So C and then F. So what I'm doing and what I'm showing you here, I'm a half step below where you're going to be. So it may look a little different when I'm playing it, but when you play it and read the tab, it should sound the same. So use your ears with that one and make sure that you're in the right spot. Remember, I'm always a half step below. So, okay, so the first lick, it comes out of the E minor pentatonic box pattern. Okay, so that one starts right around, for you guys, it'll start right at your 17th fret, and it kind of does a little pivot between the 17th fret and the 12th fret. So using your 4th finger, and this kind of comes out of that extended pentatonic idea that Allan Holdsworth uses a lot. So you get a lot of double notes in there, and it's kind of neat. It gives it a really neat effect. So what you're doing is you're pulling off, you're picking each note, and pulling off from 17, 16, 15, and pulling off between 17, 12, 16, 12, 15, 12. And when you go back down, it does essentially the same move on the second string, but it just goes down chromatically. And then it does a little crossover there between your second and first strings, and then so it does a lot of filling in the blanks between that one position, the second box position, and the root position. So essentially it fills in all those notes between the high B note and the A note an octave down. So there's no real special picking to that, when you're looking at what the right hand is doing. The only thing I can say is what I do is I'll tend to try to do consecutive downstrokes between strings or consecutive upstrokes, a little bit of economy picking. So right on that top note. Pull offs from 17, 16, 15, and then when you go to the 17th fret on your second string, and do the 17, 16, and go back to the 12 on the first. It goes up, down, down. And then up, down, up, down, up, down, down. So that way you're able to get through that one, maneuver it, and get up to a good speed. So it's a real short idea, but you could easily throw that into your solo in any sort of E minor or E Dorian jam. You can use your pentatonic scale there, and that's really what it's built for. And it's got enough chromaticism in it that it retains being bluesy, and it gives you a nice downward spiraling motion. So that's the first lick, and we'll look at that one in context. Alright guys, lick number 2 is essentially out of that same key that we were working in before, E minor, E Dorian, E minor pentatonic, and basically what we're doing here is we're using 4 notes per string to start it off, 8-note idea, starting at the, focusing between the 9th and the 14th frets. It's basically taking Dorian and Phrygian scales and kind of combining them together on a 4-note idea. 4-note per string. So you have 2 strings. You have 2 strings that are essentially the same, and then it goes up an octave from there to keep the idea going. It's the same notes though. And when you get to the top, does this actually goes down. It's a real spread out kind of idea. And it combines, it goes back down into that that pentatonic box pattern. This can be used over E minor, as we said. And then you can, you just use that basically as an E Dorian idea along with your pentatonic. So coming down off of that idea, you have from your 17th frets, 17, 15, 12, and then it's going to be 15, 16. We're going to do a stretch from 16th fret to 11th fret. Then it comes down into a B minor triad. And then goes to your 10th fret, 12, 10, 12, 10, 12, slide. So you're doing it's basically filling in an E minor arpeggio. E minor 7. And again, it goes up in an octave. So like you don't really have to overthink it. Whatever you did here, you can do it again the next octave up, starting at the 12th fret. So lick number 3 comes out of the A minor or A Dorian mode. Again, it can be used over A minor 7. Demonstrated here in an A minor 7 groove. And essentially what those fingerings are, basically what it is, it's another idea of playing triads. So if you have an A minor triad here, and then we want to maybe stack triads, instead of starting here, and stacking them underneath each other, what we do is we start a 5th away. So we keep moving a 5th away, only do it a couple times, and then we basically stack it up, and then we start going into another idea that keeps it flowing. So you have this line that starts low and goes high and goes back down again. So it starts with A minor triad, goes to E minor triad, B minor triad, and then actually goes to another A minor triad on top. And then slides all the way up to the 15th fret. So this movement right here is a little bit different because it doesn't go, or doesn't do that. It doesn't do, it's basically like a C major 7 arpeggio, or kind of, basically it kind of insinuates that it's a, or gives you the feeling that it's a minor 7 triad. And it comes down from that, which is basically another C major triad. It goes to the A, so it could be like C major 7 or an A minor. Almost like an A minor 7 add 9 chord is what it is. And it ends on the 5th of that chord. So lick number 4, the last lick here, is based on the G Mixolydian, or over a dominant 7 chord. And again, we still have that stacking triad idea, moving from 5th to 5th diatonically. So it starts down here from G, goes to D minor, then it goes to an A minor, it goes to E minor, it goes to B minor flat 5. And it comes down and does a little bit of a leading, chromaticism from the 7th, flat 7th to the root, to the 3rd, back to the 7th again. So I'm kind of leading back down to the root note from the 2nd above it chromatically, jumping to the 3rd, back to the root, and then ending on the 7th. And again, there's really no special way to pick this one. It can be all downstrokes. Upstrokes. That's a little alternate picking. So basically you might want to isolate some of these sections, isolating the top of it, and then maybe working separately on. And that, with it, in and of itself, is a nice little lick too that you can use as well. Okay, so let's take a look at that lick. hope you got something out of those licks there. This is a little mini series on these ideas. Hopefully there will be more to come, but that's up to you guys. So if you like it, let me know, give me some feedback, and as always, stay true, stay on fire.